There is a light in Italy that has been burning for longer than most countries have existed. It has witnessed the ascent and decline of great powers. It has endured conflicts that reduced metropolises to rubble. It has weathered tempests that obliterated all in their path. And today, almost 900 years later, it is still shining. This is not a metaphor. This is a lighthouse, the oldest working lighthouse in the world. Its narrative extends far beyond mere materials. It's a tale of endurance, of resilience against the odds. It is about a light that refused to die. The year was 1128. In the coastal city of Genoa, Italy, something was being built on a rocky cliff overlooking the sea. At that time, Genoa was one of the busiest sea trade centers in the world. Ships arrived every day from every direction. Merchants carried silks, spices, gold, and goods from distant lands. The city was rich, powerful, and always moving. But there was a problem. At night, the coast was deadly. Hidden rocks waited just beneath the water. Sailors could not see them. Ships would crash. Crews would drown. Cargo would sink. Families would lose everything. The sea gave Genoa its wealth, but it also took lives without mercy. So the people of Genoa decided to build something that would guide the ships home. A tower, a signal, a light. In the beginning it was simple. They burned wood and dry bushes at the top of the tower. The fire was small, but it was enough. Sailors far out at sea could see the glow. They knew where the rocks were. They knew where to turn. They knew they were safe. That was the start of something that would never end. For 200 years, the lighthouse burned with wood and fire. Then in 1326, someone had a better idea. They replaced the wood with olive oil. They placed the flame inside a glass cover to protect it from the wind. The light grew brighter, the tower grew taller, ships could see it from farther away. But the lighthouse was never just a light, it was also a watchtower. Guards stood at the top day and night. They watched the sea for enemy ships. They watched the coast for danger. They protected the city. And inside the walls of that same tower, something strange happened. Sometimes prisoners were kept there. Imagine that. A lighthouse that guided ships to safety also held men in chains. Light and darkness inside the same building. For centuries, it stood there without breaking. But then everything changed. In the 14th century, war came. Genoa was attacked. The lighthouse was caught in the fighting. Stones fell, walls cracked, the tower was damaged, but the light kept burning. Then in 1514, something worse happened. A fire swept through the lighthouse. Some say it was a fire, others say it was a violent storm. No one knows for sure, but what we do know is that the lighthouse was almost destroyed. Most people would have walked away. Most people would have said it is finished. But the people of Genoa did not walk away. They rebuilt it. In 1543, a new lighthouse rose from the ruins. It was stronger than before and even taller than before. The same stones, the same purpose, the same light, and that structure, the one they built in 1543, still stands today. Let me tell you how big this tower really is. The stone tower itself is 77 meters tall. That is about the height of a 25-story building, but the light sits even higher. It sits 117 meters above sea level, high enough to be seen from far across the water. For centuries, that light has guided sailors through the darkness, through storms that made the ground shake, through wars that burned the city around it, through time that changed everything. And here is the thing that most people do not realize. This lighthouse is not a museum. It is not a monument that people visit just to look at old stones. It is still working. The light is burning and it is still doing the same job that started almost 900 years ago. In 1936, they installed electric light. No more wood, no more olive oil, just pure electric power flashing through the night. Today, every 20 seconds, a flash of light cuts through the darkness. Ships far out at sea see it. They know where to go, they know where the rocks are, they know they are safe. Think about how long that is. The lighthouse was built in 1128, today is 2026, that means this light has been shining for 900 years. Let that number sit with you for a moment. 900 years ago, the Crusades were happening. The first universities were just being built in Europe. The Magna Carta would not be written for another 87 years. America had not even been discovered by Europeans. The world was a completely different place, and yet on that cliff in Genoa, a light was burning. Wars came and went, empires rose and fell, Ships changed from wooden sailboats to massive steel vessels. The city around the lighthouse grew and changed and modernized, but the lighthouse did not move, it did not stop, and it did not give up. That is what makes this lighthouse special. There are older lighthouses in the world. Some were built by the Romans, some were built even earlier, but most of them are ruins now. They are piles of old stones that people visit for photographs. This one is different. It is still working, and it is the oldest working lighthouse in the world. Think about what it has witnessed: ships that sailed 700 years ago, sailors who are long forgotten, storms that no one alive today remembers, generations of guards who stood at the top watching the sea, keeping the light burning, prisoners who sat in darkness inside the same walls where light lived above them, and through all of it, through every war, through every storm, through every moment of destruction, the light never completely went out, not once. In almost 900 years, that light has never completely stopped. There is something we can learn from this lighthouse. It was built with a purpose: to guide, to protect, to stand firm, and no matter what came against it, it refused to fall, it refused to stop, and it refused to die. Today, the Lanterna di Genova is more than just a lighthouse. It is a symbol of the city. It is on the city flag, city seal, strength and survival, and it represents history that refuses to fade away. When you look at it, you are not just looking at an old tower. You are looking at something that has witnessed almost 1,000 years of human life. People who lived and died centuries ago, ships that sailed and never returned, families who waited on the shore, watching for the light to guide their loved ones home, and still the light shines. So here is the question: if a light made of stone and glass and fire can survive 900 years of war, storms, and time, what can you survive? When life feels dark, when the storm is too loud, when everything around you is breaking, remember this lighthouse. Remember that some things are built to last. Some lights refuse to go out. And no matter how hard the wind blows, no matter how fierce the storm, there is always a light somewhere that keeps burning. The Lanterna di Genova has been shining for almost 900 years. It has guided ships through darkness for longer than most nations have existed. And tonight, somewhere out on the sea, a sailor will see that light and know they are safe. That is not just a story about a lighthouse, that is a story about hope, endurance, and never giving up. So the next time you feel lost, the next time you are in the dark, remember the light that burned for 900 years and know this: you can keep going, you can survive, you can be the light that never goes out.